Hey everybody, welcome to the Squad Room. I'm your host Tiffany Gray, and today we are going to learn a little bit about our drone unit. So I'm here with a few members from that unit. We have Corporal Mills and Sergeant Donato. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it. I have a couple questions I'm going to ask you guys just so everyone can just know a little bit more about our drone unit. So just, tell me just about the drone unit in general. Just tell me about it.
So the drone unit is basically comprised of 4 pilots, one of those pilots being myself. And so we fly for different reasons. But we're here to assist patrol or any other division in the police department with locating personnel or maybe even documenting crime scenes.
Awesome. So, Mills, tell me why this technology is just beneficial for our agency.
Biggest one is, in my opinion, it's a force multiplier. Nowadays with such limited resources as far as law enforcement goes, it's just another tool in our pocket. Sometimes it gives us the ability to add another resource on the street, help with investigations, take some of the pressure off of other units and other departments that we have. That's our biggest one, I think.
So I feel like privacy is probably the biggest concern with people when it comes to drones. So talk about privacy and why that's protected for us, the people in our community.
Yeah, so privacy, we take that into account for all of the things that we do with the drones. Last thing we want is to be seen as the big brother of the city. We're solely concerned about criminal behavior, criminal actions, and so when we fly our drones, that's the number one top priority for us. What folks are doing outside of their homes, maybe at a barbecue or something like that, is irrelevant to why we're flying. And so we're not constantly in the air. Matter of fact, our policy even states that we can't do routine patrol or surveillance within the community. It has to be a purpose-driven type flight, and we make sure that we adhere to that policy.
That's a good point. So what kind of technology do our drones use?
We have some pretty phenomenal technology. One we have infrared, so we have the ability to distinguish between hot and cold, reference maybe looking for a missing person, something like that. We have a zoom lens. It's a 20 times zoom lens, I think some beyond that. We've got a floodlight. We've got a 130 decibel loudspeaker. We have ability to fly within millimeters of an area that we want to fly within using what's called RTK. That's just a condensed version of the technology that we have. It's absolutely phenomenal.
That's cool. So I know we've had this unit for about 2 years now. What are some of the calls that we typically use the drone for the most?
So a top call that we receive most often is what we call a search for person. Now that could be a variety of different things. It could be finding a missing person, whether it be a child or a missing elderly that has dementia, has walked away from the home or something, or even finding trying to apprehend a suspect that's maybe fled from law enforcement. So that's usually our top priority, but that's not limited. That's just that we go beyond that. Another one that we use a lot for is event, the Overwatch. We want to make sure that you've seen things like in New Orleans during New Year's, where a drone could definitely be beneficial. Maybe you spot that vehicle before it entered into the crowd. So we utilize those drones for those events to help keep the safety of the people that are attending those events.
That makes sense. So any success stories you want to share?
Personally, for me, I'm a former school resource officer. A lot of times we have kids that run off from school and, we don't know where they are. Maybe they left on their own or just walked to the playground. I've actually had one that ran away from Baskerville Elementary School. I was deployed shortly when I got on the team, and we were able to find that juvenile within probably 3 to 4 minutes after he ran away. Normally that call would have taken us 20 minutes, half an hour maybe, using 6 officers.
Right.
We've done a few where we've had suspects who've stolen a vehicle. They've dumped the vehicle and ran. We've responded with canines and actually apprehended those suspects. John actually did a tandem flight together where he operated the drone and I operated the camera. So we flew. That was one of the first times we ever did that and located all the suspects. So we do a lot of those things. Those are the 2 biggest ones for me because as far as he and I are concerned, protecting the public is our biggest our biggest goal. So protecting that juvenile, protecting people that are just concerned about suspects on the run. So that's our crowning achievements, I think.
Do you have any?
Sure. Yeah, we can probably go all day with some success
All day.
stories.
Yeah.
But we'll like to tell people, every time we do fly the drone, it's not a success. It's a ratio that we have to accept. Just like when an officer responds to a call, you're not always going to catch a suspect. But with our drone, we've had some success. A couple that I've been a part of. Again, an event that we were working for an outside agency. Child got missing in the crowd. Got separated from the parent. Within less than 10 minutes, we were able to locate the child. The deputy was able to place their hands with the child to escort them over back to their parents. So that's the agency I was flying for at the time. I thought that was a phenomenal thing that, it took, like you said, less manpower, less time to make that happen, where that would, in a crowd as thick as that event was, it would have took maybe an hour or two to find that child.
It just makes things faster.
It does. And then recently we had one of our younger pilots that just started on the team had responded to a domestic violence call. And people say, well, how did that, how's the drone working at that? Well, the suspect had fled. And then before officers got there, which is the normal case in that kind of ordeal. But thankfully he fled on foot and fled into a wooded area, and the drone operator got there in time, was able to launch the drone within minutes, and was able to find the suspect less than 10 minutes, and was able to guide the K-9 and the rest of his team to apprehend the suspect without any, basically any adverse effects to the suspect or to the team. So everybody's, goes home safely, even the suspect.
Right. That's good. So how can the community learn more about this unit?
We do community events. So the city does a event every year. So it's the police department where they can come in and learn about what the city or the police department does, because it's a citizen academy. So the city has one, the police department has one, like I was saying, and they can come in, join that. We do a presentation during that. We do a demonstration flight, talk all about the technologies, a little bit more in depth than what we've talked about today. And
National Night Out as well.
National Night Out. So we'll do a lot of events. So pretty much every major event that we are hosting, we have the chief wants the drone out to be seen.
We also have the Citizens Police Academy too. So that's another opportunity for people to learn more about the drone unit. So we're almost done. What's the future for this unit?
Priority for myself and Sergeant Otter is grow the team. We want to get some more pilots on board, hopefully to double the team as far as personnel goes. Obviously get some more resources. We just got some indoor search drones. We're going to be utilizing them fairly soon.
That's good.
And of course, budgetary restraints, but get more drones, get more pilots, educate more people. But that's the biggest one, is just getting more pilots, getting them licensed, and get them in the air and help protect our citizens.
So it's clear this technology is making a difference in our community. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you want to say?
Well, just to kind of piggyback on what Corporal Mills is saying here about future, that's our main goal, is to grow the team. We are also been dabbling in with what they call Drone First Responders program, something that maybe in the future where a drone is the first responder to a call to help officers that are en route. Or give the supervisor a better outlook on what that call may be before officers get there, so they can be better prepare themselves. And another benefit to that is also we can use on the fire side of things. We've already been working with our fire department, engaging with them with the same program, so they can utilize that same thing, because the fire department also can get a better eyes on what type of fire they're working with prior to get there, knowing what equipment to go ahead and get out as soon as they get on scene, which by speaking with the fire department, it will tremendously reduce their response time. So something that we look for in the future. We can't say exactly when that would take place, but we hope in the future that they'll be coming.
That would be nice.
And I think finally, like for me, a lot of people nowadays are concerned about drones in the air. There's a lot of stigma attached to flying drones. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, what's in the air, why is it in the air, feel free to call us. There's almost always a pilot on duty who can answer those questions for you. And if not, we can get that answer for you fairly quickly. Just and educate yourself on drone flight. If you have a drone and you want to know the rules and regulations, contact myself or Sergeant Donater, and we'll point you in the right direction to get those resources.
And a couple ways you can contact us is, of course, at the main line here at the police department, 252-972-1443. Or we have our own email address for the drone unit, uas@rockymountainc.gov. Shoot us an email with a question or a concern. We'd be glad to follow up with you about that and answer any of those that we can.
Nice. So I think that's it. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you too for being on our podcast today. And see you guys next time on the Squad Room. Bye.